Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is Kevro the Curator with Musical Functions Entertainment, your DJ, MC, party purveyor, and now your go to educator for all things wedding pro related. Welcome back to Talk About It Tuesdays, where we have real conversations that help elevate not just what we do, but how we show up while doing it. And today we're talking about something we don't say enough in our industry: how to show up as our best selves when life doesn't feel its best. Let's be honest. As wedding professionals, DJs, planners, photographers, videographers, coordinators, we're expected to create joy, lead energy, and hold space for one of the most important days in someone's life. Even when we might be dealing with stress, personal challenges, or just the weight of the world that's going on around us, right? And we see these memes up with planners eating in like a little closet, and it kind of stresses me out, right? And I'm gonna let you know something: you are not alone. We are responsible for how we show up. So here are three ways to navigate that with intention. Here's the first way: honor where you are without staying in that space. Before you step into that event, acknowledge what you're carrying, because if you don't, it will show up anyway, especially for those of us who wear our feelings on our sleeves. It shows up in our tone, our energy, our lack of patience. Check this out. I remember one wedding morning before I got to the wedding, I got a call that my sister went into cardiac arrest and she was in a coma. And in that moment, everything stopped. The day wasn't normal, it was heavy. And I was able to allow myself to be in that space that morning and that afternoon. I knew what I had to do. I had to feel it, process it, be present with my family and my emotions. But when it was time to go to that wedding, I had a decision to make. Yeah. So I had a decision to make: not to ignore what I was feeling, but to understand that I also had a responsibility to show up for that couple on one of the most important days of their lives, no matter what I had going on. So I carried that moment with me right from the morning, but I didn't let it control how I showed up. I had to honor what I was going through and still step into a greater purpose when that time came. And here's the tip number two. Here's the second way: lead through the moment. Shift your focus from what's going wrong to what the moment needs from you. Because weddings don't pause just because problems happen. I remember a wedding where the venue lost all power. There was no music, no lights, everything stopped. And in that moment, I had two choices. I can either focus on the problem or lead through the moment. So what did I do? I ran over 200 feet of extension cord to my Jeep that I pulled up to the entrance. I powered up that system with my Jeep, and I kept the celebration going with that and powered lights. The guests, they also chipped in, but they never felt panic, only the party. Because at the end of the day, it's not about what's going wrong, it's about how to show up when it does, and how you know how to pivot, and how you know how to be pliable in those situations. Tip number three is create a ritual that resets you. You need something that helps you transition from life into the event space, because that shift just doesn't happen on its own. For me, that starts even before I leave my house. I intentionally block out 30 minutes to an hour before every wedding. No distractions, no rushing. I might watch a silly show, I might eat, just to sit and decompress and really feel whatever space I'm feeling right then. Whether that's stress, frustration, or just the weight of everything that's going on. But I don't stay in that space. I process it the right way. Because once I walk out that door, I'm walking in my purpose. And that's to spread joy, love, and to have people have a good time. That time allows me to show up clear, present, and ready to serve at a high level. And real quick, I got to give a shout out to my wife, Shavana. That's at Shavana LMFT. She's a licensed mental health therapist and expert in this space. She's poured so much into me and allowed me to learn how to process things in a healthy way with intention. It's not about ignoring our emotions, it's about handling them intentionally so they don't handle us. And here's a bonus tip: give yourself grace after the event, after the smiles, after the energy, after the performance, after you've been on all day. Check back in with yourself. Personally, I don't listen to any music on my way home. I take a moment of silence, I sit, I reset, because if I keep pouring out without refilling, burnout is just around the corner. So, if you've been showing up lately, even if it hasn't been easy, still serving, still creating moments, still carrying energy for others, I want you to hear this. That takes strength, that takes professionalism, that takes a real person, and that matters. We appreciate you and we see you. So, with that, let's continue elevating not just the wedding experience, but how we show up within it. This is Kevro the Curator. I appreciate you, and we'll talk about it next Tuesday. Peace.